Welcome back to Chris Does Rocks. Today we're going to cover the Mohs hardness scale. Okay, so what is the Mohs hardness scale? It's a scale created by a geologist, Frederick Mohs, to give you 10 common minerals that most geologists will either have already or could easily access, that you can reference their hardness. So whatever sample you have, you can scratch either the mineral you had that you know, use it to scratch whatever, and you can now reference and say, relatively, it's harder or softer than these known things. It's not an exact measurement. It can't be used for math and calculations. There's no units to it, but it's a quick, easy, and affordable way to differentiate a lot of things. So, not precision, but still very useful. Now, what is hardness? Well, hardness in the case of this scale just means resistance to scratching. So, it's not, again, a high value test for engineering purposes, but a very diagnostic one for mineral identification. Okay, the test ranges from the softest mineral on the list, talc, which is so soft you can crumble it in your bare hands without much difficulty. In fact, it's actually kind of hard not to break it if you're not being careful, to diamonds, which are the hardest naturally occurring substance on Earth. You can get some hypothetical things out in exotic conditions in space. We can artificially create very tiny samples of things in labs that beat it, but even then, it's still much easier to just use diamond. And there's a list of 10 of these. I'm not going to list them out because, well, for most people, it's not that important to know. But there are a couple of things on there worth noting. One is the mineral calcite, which is calcium carbonate, that is a large constituent of human teeth, bones, and a little bit of nails. So that one's just a relative thing to know. And it is also interesting in that human fingernails, barring certain medical conditions, are approximately the same hardness as calcite. So you can just scrape your nail against something, and if it's softer, you know it's below a 3 on the Mohs scale. There's quartz, which is 7. That is a major component of the Earth's crust. In fact, quartz as a broad category is the most common mineral on Earth's crust. So you can then compare most rocks and say, if it's harder than your quartz sample, you've got something in a very rare category. If it's softer, you have something that's not quartz, which is still a big category by percentage. So, worth remembering there. Also, only softer than quartz, or only a little softer than quartz, is most common steels. So if you happen to have a pocket knife, or you happen to have a nail or a screw that hasn't been galvanized, you can also use that and get a similar measurement. So, a couple of quick tests there. And as I said, the key point of the Mohs test was that because these are fairly common minerals you're comparing to, it's a cheap and rapid test to do versus having to go get specialized equipment, large investments of chemicals and money and time to identify a sample. You can just quickly in the field pick up known, unknown, rub, now you know. So, despite being an imprecise thing for modern science, is still kept around because of its ease and utility. So, there you go.